There are more Switch titles to be revealed and released in 2018, according to former President Kimishima. But what game or games could that be? Well, today we've got 7 picks for the mystery Switch game that is yet to be unveiled. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here, and this seems like a pretty likely list, at least for the most part. I'm surprised that there is more, but when we looked back, Gabe, to the September 2017 Direct, they did unveil more titles for the holiday, although most were third-party and then a few bite-sized things from Nintendo, like snipper clips.
Yeah, I think it is dangerous to expect like anything huge and new, but I mean, there's more stuff coming. We know that for a fact, and it's just about what makes sense for the holiday, especially with Nintendo's whole multiplayer focus. Like, what type of games would they want to get out there so that families can play together? And yeah, like I said, we have a pretty likely list here. We're not saying that all of these games are going to get announced, but we wouldn't be surprised if some of them did.
Right, and the other option is like Snipper Clips Plus. It could be DLC for an already existing game, but I think it's most likely going to be one of these. Let's kick it off with Diablo 3. We have heard that rumored for quite a while. And then Blizzard did a tease of their own, even though they said it wasn't a tease, with that light switch Diablo tweet a while back. We heard nothing at E3 except that a lot of people said it is a thing, it just wasn't announced. So this would be one that would definitely fit the rumors, and it would also fit in terms of last year they announced like Doom and Wolfenstein 2 at that Direct. Here they could do something similar.
Yeah, Blizzard was definitely being a little fishy. Like, they were clearly teasing it in my mind. Again, they maintained that they weren't. But yeah, I mean, it's a game that a lot of people have said that they know exists. It's just about when it's getting announced. And if there is another Direct in September, I feel like this would fit in perfectly.
Right, and I think that's where we expect this to be unveiled. Kimishima said it would be, discussed at a later date, sometime in the fall. That makes sense. The next one on our list is Injustice 2. We know that Panic Button has another port in the works. They're supposed to unveil it this month, which is maybe not lining up with Kimishima's timing, but Injustice 2 would make sense. Ed Boon, way back when, said that it could come to Switch, but they would require an outside studio to help port, and Panic Button did do the Vita version of the first Injustice.
Yeah, so they have some history with the franchise. They are clearly the premier port house for big games like that coming to Nintendo Switch. I'm sure they would knock that out of the park based off what we have seen with their previous works on the platform. Yeah, I really hope that this happens because I think that is so perfect, right? Being able to play locally with people. You can, of course, probably do the split Joy-Con thing. It's such a good fit.
I love the game. I love both games. I think it would be awesome, especially if you're bringing the Game of the Year edition and packing in all the DLC. I don't know how much Nintendo cares about their overall genre calendar, but I would caution this one just because there is Dragon Ball FighterZ releasing in September and then Smash Bros. In December, but maybe that's not a big deal to them and they can nicely place this in October or November. From there, we'll go a little bit more Nintendo-y with a port of Mario Maker. I suppose it could be a new game, but it seems like a port of sorts would be more likely. We've heard this one rumored since before the Switch came out. It was initially thought to be maybe even a launch title or something around the launch window. No word since, but it would be a good fit. It would make sense, and I think it would be fun.
Yeah, I actually really, really enjoyed Mario Maker. I enjoyed the streams way more than anything. Seeing people create and go through some of those insane difficult levels. Now, of course, there is the issue of like, hey, there's no gamepad. Like, how are you going to make these things? I'm sure they'll figure something out. I think there is a workaround for that. But, I would love it if it was a sequel instead of just like a port. But I don't even know how you make a sequel for this. Like, more assets, I guess.
Yeah, including the 3D Marios all of a sudden makes it a huge different mess. So for a sequel, what do you really do? I guess give a lot more options. Maybe it is like a DX version, something of that sort, where it does have some extra features while retaining the same Mario Maker foundation. I think that could be cool, and it would be the third platform for that game after hitting 3DS as well. Next up would be a new Super Mario Bros. Now this one I could see being a new game. There's no reason that they could not launch a new Super Mario Bros. Or bring back some sort of collection. I would hope it wouldn't just be a port of the Wii U title. If they could group a number of them together, that would be fun, or something all new altogether.
Yeah, well, this one is, likely, right? We've heard things about this, but why wouldn't they announce this at E3? That's automatically where I go with something like this. Like this, and it has Mario in the title. It's big enough that I think you would want this at E3. But I mean, maybe if the rest of the year is like a little bit light and you need a direct for sometime before the fall, this is one of the things you save for that, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it just comes down to what they feel can best anchor shows. They had Mario in both Tennis Aces coming out soon and then Super Mario Party, so maybe they thought a third appearance of their main man was too much, or maybe they felt like, okay, a new Super Mario Bros. Game can anchor a direct, whereas maybe Mario Party can't. I don't know how that works, but this probably would be, I don't know, if it's a new game, I'd be pretty excited for it. If it's a collection, it would probably be my last choice of our list.
Yeah, same.
Not the biggest fan of New Super Mario Bros. We have also heard rumors of and a bunch of you pointed out in the comments of our video where we discussed the news of these new titles. Mario 3D World, or a double pack that had Mario 3D World and 3D Land. I would be way more about that than a New Super Mario Bros. Collection.
So would I.
Alas, let's move on to Wonderful 101. We know that Kamiya has been pushing for this for a while. Will it ever happen? It would be a very fun Wii U port to get, and a good one because I don't think a lot of Switch owners have played this game. So it would make good sense. It would be a lot of fun, and I totally would pick it up.
Yeah, I clearly would as well. But yeah, it's been teased, and I don't know when he says like, "Hey, Nintendo, let me do this." Like, he knows whether he's going to be allowed to do it or not. I think that's just his way of being a little fun teaser guy on Twitter. And it gets mentioned so often that we have to bring this one up.
Right, and I will point out that there were no Wii U ports at E3 this year, and so it does open the door for one of those to sneak into the 2018 calendar, and I think that's most likely. If I had to bet on this, I would say a third-party port a la Injustice 2 or Diablo 3, plus a Wii U port, whether it be Mario Maker, New Super Mario Bros., or Wonderful 101. But let's get a little pie in the sky right now. We know that this one exists. Will it come out in 2018? Most likely not. But if we want to have a dream scenario, Pikmin 4 has been a long time coming. Where is it? Why is it never shown? Bring me the Pikmin, Gabe.
Yeah, you say it's pie in the sky for a reason. I don't think this is happening. We needed to include it on the list just because it's been mentioned so much. We knew that the game was almost completed a few years ago, and of course there's been retooling. I'm sure they've done a lot different since that statement was originally made. But, I mean, if anything like brand new was to be announced, I think Pikmin would be it.
Right, and that was kind of our thought process here. If Nintendo was going to go crazy and try to drop something brand spanking new into the calendar, Pikmin 4 would be a really good one, and I think being a new game, we've seen some of the weird investor response to E3 and to their release schedule, and even though they have a Smash Bros. Game and a Pokemon game and a Mario Party game, and the system is selling well, GameStop reported that it doubled the sales during the E3 week, stocks are down 34% since March, so they do need to do something to assuage those fears and please those investors. I would think brand new Pikmin 4 would do just that. And our seventh and final game, I don't know if this one's pie in the sky, but it's pretty close. That would be a Metroid Prime Trilogy. We've heard some rumors of this one, and it would fit nicely to lead into Metroid Prime 4 next year. I think of all the ports on the list, this one would probably be the most exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Ridley is in Smash Brothers. We need more Metroid in our life always. Metroid Prime 4, probably next year. So yeah, we need people to catch up. A lot of the younger gamers that maybe haven't even played any of that trilogy, they need some time to go ahead and play through these before the fourth entry is released. This is the one I want the most out of everything on the list, honestly.
Yeah, it would be a ton of content. It would be super cool. If they were to doll up the visuals a little bit, even better. It would make a lot of sense. It would fit really well. But let us know which one you think will be unveiled later this year. And if you have other options as well, give us those in the comments down below. Diablo 3, Injustice 2, Mario Maker, New Super Mario Bros., Wonderful 101, Pikmin 4, Metroid Prime Trilogy. I mean, you know that my number one choice is Pikmin 4. But if I had to go with which one I think is most likely, Gabe, I'm honestly going to... I would put my eggs in the Diablo 3 basket.
Yeah, that's the same basket that I was already going to put my eggs in, so our eggs can sit together.
Lots of eggs and lots of hope. Definitely let us know your take in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch, and these titles, whenever they are announced, we'll have them covered for you. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter and Discord. Thanks so much. Have a fantastic day. For myself and Gabe, Switch Force out.